Ahoy, this is Zdenka. DJI OM7P's strongest feature is this tracking module with built-in microphone receiver. Insta360 Flow 2 Pro is known for its AI tracking capabilities, and Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra features detachable remote with AI tracker preview. DJI OM7P versus Insta360 Flow 2 Pro versus Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra. In this video, let's go through pros and cons, stabilization and tracking tests, and all features so you can make a decision which one is the best gimbal for your filming needs. When you look at the gimbals in their folded state, you can see that they look very similar. I have kept their phone clamps and trackers attached just to see the difference. The smallest and most compact is Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra, a bit bigger is Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, and the largest is DJI OM7P. Even though Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra is the smallest, it's the heaviest. Insta360 Flow 2 Pro is a bit lighter, and DJI OM7P is the lightest. When you hold them in a hand, there is a slight difference between Hohem and DJI, however, they are still both very lightweight. Let me remove the clamps and tracking sensors so you can see how small they are, which makes them easily fit into a pocket. Hohem is the only one that doesn't have a clamp that can be detached. DJI and Insta360 both have one-step rapid deployment. That means that you just open up the gimbal, attach the phone, and the gimbal is already turned on. Hohem doesn't have this feature. You have to open the gimbal first, then place it in the smartphone, and then turn it on. When you place them side by side in this unfolded state, they are pretty much the same height, a very tiny difference. All three gimbals have built-in extendable selfie sticks with 90-degree elbows that you can bend. Now that selfie sticks are fully extended, you can see that DJI is the tallest, Insta360 is slightly shorter, and Hohem is the shortest. Let's talk about the tripod. Insta360 has the most stable tripod as the legs are much longer, they are easy to pull out and fold. Hohem has shorter legs, but the tripod is still very stable. It is also easy to pull it out and fold. DJI has much shorter legs, so on a windy day, I would be careful as it could be knocked over. All three gimbals have a port at the bottom for attaching them to a monopod or a big tripod. When it comes to maximum payload, Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra has the biggest payload, 400 grams, so it can handle heavier phones. The other two gimbals have 300 grams maximum payload. All three gimbals have clamps with tight grips. The phone feels safe and secure. I feel the best fit and the whole process of placing the phone has DJI OM7P. As I mentioned earlier, Hohem has built-in clamp that cannot be detached. Both DJI and Insta360 have removable clamps. They also have another accessory that can be purchased separately, and that is magnetic phone mount for the phones that have the MagSafe feature. Before we dive into all the buttons, let's briefly cover the handle. The most comfortable grip, in my opinion, at least that is what I feel, has DJI. Then I like Hohem, and the last one for me is Insta360. On Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, I don't like the feeling of pressing the button. Now, I have big hands for a woman, so I also feel that Hohem could have tiny bit longer handle, but that's just my feeling. The easiest gimbal when it comes to buttons, navigation, and controlling the gimbal is Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra. The bright display shows you very clearly what is going on, plus you have many filming modes directly here on the gimbal, so you can film in any app of your choice. I'll touch on that later on. DJI is second one in terms of ease of use. You've got only a few buttons here, so it's straightforward. There are, however, two things I don't like about this one. The power button. So many times I'm looking for something in my purse and I accidentally bump into the power button and the gimbal turns on. It happened to me many times. I also turn the zoom wheel here and there when my thumb is too close. Insta360 has the same problem when it comes to power button. I also bump into it here and there and turn it on by mistake. Otherwise, it has a very modern navigation wheel, but I feel it takes some time to learn all the hidden features. I had to go through the manual to figure it all out. There is a learning curve here for sure. When you film yourself with Insta360 Flow 2 Pro and you film with the rear camera, you will know that you are recording as the light on the arm will flash. There is also this round mirror that is supposed to help with framing. When you see yourself in the circle like this, you know you are framed well. DJI OM7P has this red light here that lets you know that you are filming. Hohem V3 Ultra doesn't have that feature. Let's test stabilization. I can tell you that all three gimbals have the latest technology, so the stabilization will be very good. There will be very little difference, if any. The first one goes DJI OM7P. Here is regular walk, soft heel-to-toe walk, and run. The next one is Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. Let's repeat the same thing. Here is regular walk, soft walk, and run. Last one is up. That is Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra. As you can see, they are all pretty much the same. Here is regular walk, soft walk, and run. I think right now would be a good time to mention the battery life. DJI and Insta360 gimbals will give you around 10 hours of runtime, and the Hohem gimbal will give you 9 hours. The time will be reduced on all three gimbals if you are using an AI tracking sensor. Hohem can't charge your phone. However, the other two gimbals can. If you have iPhone, like I do, you most likely already noticed how quickly the battery goes down. Insta360 Flow 2 Pro has a charging port right here behind the phone clamp. DJI OM7P lets you charge your phone from this port on the body, or you can also charge your phone from the AI tracking module. These are 3-axis gimbals. That means that they have 3 motors that are controlling pan, tilt, and roll movements. Those motors get locked and unlocked in different modes. All gimbals have 4 basic gimbal modes, they just might have slightly different names. Pan follow mode, when the pan motor is unlocked, so you can do smooth movements to the side. Pan and tilt follow mode, where both pan and tilt motors are unlocked, so you can move freely to the sides or up and down. FPV mode has all motors unlocked, so you can go to the sides, up and down, and also mimic airplane movement. The last one is lock mode. This is where all motors are locked, no matter where you move. The framing will always stay the same. Here I would like to mention a very important note when it comes to lock mode, at least for me. On DJI and Insta360 gimbals, you will get to lock mode by pressing and holding the trigger at the back, so you cannot use it with a monopod. However, on Hohem gimbal, you can just press the icon to get there, so you have the freedom to use monopod. So these were 4 basic filming modes. Let's go to automatic modes. All 3 gimbals offer automatic roll movement, called sometimes inception mode, or spin shot, or roll rotation. It is the same thing, just using different names. On DJI gimbal, you use joystick to rotate the phone, and spin shot mode. On Insta360, when you are in FPV, you scroll the wheel to get to that mode, but you have to press something. Hohem gimbal has again this mode available, with pressing an icon on the screen. There are 3 other modes you can do directly on this gimbal. You can do infinite pan rotation, you can do panoramas, and motion time lapses in any filming app. Insta360 can do pan rotation in any app. Other modes are available in Insta360 app. DJI can do these in DJI Memo app, except continuous pan rotation. Range of motion is very important, and I can tell you right now that there are big differences between those three gimbals. Let's start with the pan movement. Both gimbals, Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra and Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, have unlimited pan rotation. If you are tracking yourself, you can run in circles around and it will never lose you. DJI OM7P unfortunately doesn't have that. It is not full 360, it's a little bit less. There is a hard stop. So if you are tracking and forget that the hard stop is coming, it will lose you when you cross the line. When it comes to tilt movement, the smallest range has DJI once again. Hohem and Insta360 have a very similar range, a bit bigger than DJI, but where Insta360 wins is with the free tilt mode. How it's done? You extend the selfie stick, bend the elbow, and twist the arrow. Now I can literally spin the phone. Here is another unlimited rotation. There are no limits here. The last movement we didn't talk about is the roll movement. Both DJI and Hohem have almost 360 roll rotation. However, Insta360 has one full rotation and almost a half. It's very clear that Insta360 Flow 2 Pro wins here. Second is Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra. And third is DJI OM7P. Tracking via AI tracker is a big one. There are many things to discuss here. Let me start with Hohem. The tracker can track people, pets, and objects because there is a built-in preview camera that shows on the remote. The remote allows you to select the subject you want to track, which is a huge bonus because you can track in any app. The other two gimbals allow only people to be tracked via AI tracker. If you want to track animal or object, you have to use their app. There is also a fill light on all three trackers or modules. The only thing I have to point out is that both DJI and Hohem fill lights can be turned on and controlled via control wheel on DJI and with remote screen and turn wheel on Hohem. When it comes to Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, there are buttons on the tracker, so you have to turn it on there and then press those little buttons to control the light. So it's a bit more work. DJI OM7P also has one more feature the others don't have, and that is built-in microphone receiver for DJI Mic Mini. So when you connect this to your smartphone through the included cable, you can just use the Mic Mini transmitter with it. Insta360 and Hohem also have their own microphones available, but you have to plug in the receiver to the smartphone. Let's return to tracking. Before we go to Gimbal's apps and talk about tracking there is one gimbal, and that is Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, which offers additional tracking exclusively for iPhones via NFC. You just hold the phone near the gimbal, prompt shows up, you hit connect, and then you can use tracking via Apple Dockkit in any app of your choice. The tracking is slower though, which is a drawback, and it's only available for Apple devices, not Android phones. When it comes to tracking with all three gimbals in their dedicated apps, again, yes, there are some differences. Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra has very good tracking. It's fast. It has object recovery, but you cannot reframe the tracking, and the movement is not as smooth as with the other two gimbals. The tracking will always be in a center if you are using Hohem Joy app tracking. DJI OM7P has also excellent tracking in DJI Memo app, object recovery, the movement is smooth, and you can reposition the subject with the joystick. If you move the subject to the side, it will stay there. If you have multiple people in the shot, it has smart tracking activation. Once it finds faces, white boxes show up. You just tap on the person you want the gimbal to track. It will stay locked on that one person, even if it gets blocked by another person. You can always switch tracking to another person by tapping on the white box. Insta360 Flow 2 Pro has the most sophisticated tracking. It can track fast-moving subjects. It has object recovery. There are additional tracking features in Insta360 app. Track Plus is used only when the gimbal is on a tripod, and you will be tracking for a long periods. Active zoom tracking allows you to track up to 15 times zoom, so you can track subjects pretty far away. It has multi-person tracking, where it will always keep everyone in the frame. It will change zoom automatically, and you can also select the main person to track. It has Pro Framing Grid, which allows you to select a specific framing for your subject through the grid. What else do you get in those apps? First of all, if you have an iPhone, you will get all those features. If you have Android phone, some of the features might be limited. It also depends on what type of Android phone you have. So you might not have all those features. It is best to check compatibility list, which is usually located on their websites. If you ask me if your phone is compatible, and I'm sure somebody will ask in the comments, I can tell you that I simply don't know the answer. Hohem Joy app is first. You have all filming modes that are in all apps. You can live stream, use another phone as a remote, beauty mode is here, filters, and many pre-designed templates. It has also built-in video editor. DJI Mimo app has pretty much the same, except you cannot use another phone as a remote. It's not there, but it has a special parents and kids mode. Insta360 app is the most advanced app. It has teleprompter, panophoto, dual view mode that has been recently added, widescreen mode, you can live stream here too, hoop mode is next, and it also has AI warp and electric surge in shot lab that is compatible with this gimbal. On top of it, Insta360 Flow 2 Pro is compatible with Blackmagic camera app on Android. I don't have that option on iPhone, but I found it with S25 Ultra. You can use the shutter and zoom in and out. That is all I know so far. I didn't fully test it yet. When it comes to pricing, I usually don't mention it in a video because at the time you're watching the video, there might be a discount, there might be a code. All of it is below the video in a video description. So if you want to see the current pricing, the links are there. What I can tell you now is that Insta360 Flow 2 Pro is the most expensive. Then you have Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra, and budget choice would be DJI OM7P. Well, which gimbal is the best? From what we saw in this video, Insta360 Flow 2 Pro is the most advanced gimbal, especially when it comes to range of motion and tracking. Hohem and DJI are also great, and whichever you're going to get, I'm quite sure you will be happy. Hohem is a bit step ahead when it comes to the AI tracker and more options filming in any app. DJI is great for those who use other DJI products, such as microphones, and all the system works together. Give it a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe for more. And if you want to watch more of my videos, here are some recommendations. See you there. Ciao. Ahoj.